Oh no! We suck again! And if you're tired of sucking, just hit that thumbs up icon, like this video. I know a lot of Saints players watch these videos every single day. So like this video. So that way we can show them some love, support this team, and that way they can stop sucking. So coming up on today's video, I'm going to get into some injury updates around a lot of notable players. And then we're going to go into just a big rant, a therapy session, if you will, on why the coaching staff needs to be fired. But before we get to that, I want to give a very special shout out and a massive thank you to Prize Picks for making today's show possible. Now, if you're not sure what Prize Picks is, or if you haven't watched any of our videos before, Prize Picks is daily fantasy sports made easy. And it's so much fun, and if you're really good, if you're really lucky, you can win up to 25 times your money this season. Now, you don't have to just stick with NFL games. You can also do NBA. You can do NHL. You can do college sports. You can do esports. You can do whatever you want. But in terms of the Monday Night Football projections, this is what I'm rolling with. Stephon Diggs, more than just one touchdown, passing, rushing, or receiving. I think is going to go score. Javonte Williams, I also have the more on his rushing yards because I think that the Broncos are going to feed that man. So guys, go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use promo code CLNS for a first deposit match up to $100. Prize Picks, it's daily fantasy sports made easy. And that link to get the app will be available in the comment section and description of this video. Guys, I can't emphasize enough. Just go check out Prize Picks. It's so much fun. All right, so I want to talk about these three injuries. Also notable other injuries that happened. Malcolm Roach, he got hurt. I'm not exactly sure what the injury was, but it looked like it was something lower body. Going to monitor that situation. And then on top of that, Alontae Taylor, he did get hurt, returned into the game. So we're going to monitor that, make sure that's nothing crazy. But in terms of the three guys, the three main injuries, Derek Carr, he has a concussion and a right shoulder injury. Marshon Lattimore, he has an ankle issue. And we got some more updates around him. Michael Thomas, he suffered a knee injury. And I just got to say this. Thank God for bye weeks. Because holy cow, this could not have come at a better time. The Saints are beat up. The Saints are hurting. The Saints need to get healthy. And thank God, because they're about to have the Atlanta Falcons in a matchup in an NFC South game that will really determine the future of this team this season. So you got to get healthy. You got to come prepared. And thank God for bye weeks. And so in injury updates for each of these individual players, the most recent news that came in today, the reports for Marshon Lattimore, it's a high ankle sprain. He's going to be week to week, so we'll monitor that situation. Be sure to subscribe and turn on your notifications. And in terms of Michael Thomas, Dennis Allen saying that it was a fairly significant injury. There's not expected to be season ending. And for both Thomas and Lattimore, there's really no timeline available that Dennis Allen said, I don't really want to get into. We're getting second opinions and all that kind of stuff in a press conference today. And as for Derek Carr, his right shoulder actually checked out fine. It's the same shoulder that he hurt earlier in the season when he had that AC joint sprain. But he is currently in concussion protocol. However, it is believed that he avoided major injury, and he should be able to play next week or next game, not because the bye week, and the next game against the Atlanta Falcons. But guys, this is why you subscribe, because we give you Saints news and updates almost every single day. Subscribe and don't forget to turn on your notifications, set them to all, so that way you can be notified. You can be the first ones to know what's going on around your New Orleans Saints. And just for a little sneak peek as to what we're going to get into tomorrow, Mike Garafolo put this tweet out literally minutes ago. Said the Saints worked out Jason Pierre-Paul. I'm going to go into a full reaction. I'm going to go into a full breakdown why I think the Saints should or should not bring Jason Pierre-Paul into the building. So don't forget to subscribe, turn on your notifications, so that way you can get news, you can get updates, rumors, and all sorts of awesome live content. All right, so let's talk about Jameis Winston, because he is the quarterback who will take over if Derek Carr is not healthy. And J-Bo time yesterday, man, I don't want to say it was great, but I will say this. It was the Jameis Winston experience through and through. By the definition, it was the Jameis Winston experience. It was very exciting, but there was a lot of times you're sitting here on the live stream or you're sitting on your couch, you're thinking, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh yes, oh my God, yes. Or you get the, holy cow, he's open. Oh my God, you threw it out of bounds. You see what I'm saying? Just go back and watch the tape. It is all over the place. And I love Jameis Winston. I've been a big time fan of his. And since he's been in New Orleans, man, it's just been so up and down. It's been so left and right. It's been hot. It's been cold. It's been funky. It's been fresh. And it's honestly been really, really weird because you go back to that 2021 season. He was on a tear, 5-2 before tearing his ACL against his former team in the Buccaneers on Halloween. Shout out that CD Deuce video of him dancing with the crutches. Only good thing CD ever did for the Saints. In 2020, he only played in 4 games, had very limited reps. In 2022, only had 3 games. There was a lot of controversy as to whether or not he should have started more. And in 2023, he has checked into 4 separate games. And as for a quarterback competition, you saw the stats. You saw the numbers on your screen. You've seen the play for years at this point. Dennis Allen said today, we are not in a quarterback competition. Derek Carr is a starting quarterback. He is QB1. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Derek Carr will start. Now, the only thing is, if Dennis Allen can't, or if Derek Carr can't go, J-Bo is going to be playing next game. So I'm going to say this. Dennis Allen, you have to go down with the ship. And I'm going to give him credit. I'm going to give him some respect there because at least he's doing that. He's saying, I'm not making a change because that's what Twitter wants. I'm not making a change because this idiot on YouTube wants this. I'm doing what I'm doing. Derek Carr was brought in by Dennis Allen. He is DA's guy. So you have to go down with the ship. If this whole thing is going to burn out and just go to absolute shit, Dennis Allen needs to go down with it. And I'm just going to say that. In terms of quarterbacks that you could potentially have instead of Derek Carr, just pick one for me. Because there's really 4 options you have. You have Derek Carr, you have Jameis Winston, you have Jake Haener, who we have yet to see outside of the preseason. We have Taysom Hill. So let me know. Pick a quarterback for me. I'm curious as to what you guys have to say. Personally, I just think that you got to still roll with Derek Carr. I would love to see Jake Haener get some action, but like you're first in the division, so why would you make some changes to potentially risk that when you're doing okay with Carr as your starter? I'm not saying they're doing okay. That's just how things are going. So let me know, Saints fans, in the comment section. All right, to round things out, let's have a therapy session because, quite honestly, I feel like it's a bit overdue. The Saints got to fire their head coaches. They got to get rid of the current coaching situation. I love Mickey Loomis. He's done a lot of great things for this organization. He has done some awesome things. He's won Super Bowls, brought in big-time players, but he's also missed on a lot of things. He's missed on a lot of draft picks. He's made some very questionable trades. He's made some very bad free agency signings in the past. But if the front office can't have the stones to move off of their loyalty thing that they have going on, they got to go too. I'm sorry. They just have to go. And there's a lot of issues I have with this team, but my biggest 3 are these. It's a loser culture. This team does not have a winning culture. The coaches are literally allergic to winning. It's unfreaking believable. This team, this coaching staff, and like, I want to just say this. I do think the players are, to blame here, but the coaching is the problem. The players got to play better, absolutely. But a good coach would fix that. And that's why this is a losing culture. You don't have a good quarterback situation going on. Whether you like him or not, Jameis Winston and Derek Carr stink. I'm big fans of Jameis Winston. I'm a big fan of Jameis Winston. I think he's so much fun. I've defended him tooth and nail. But he's just not a starting quarterback. And quite honestly, your future is in jeopardy. This offseason, if you ask me, is absolutely crucial to the future of this organization because here's the thing. If you whiff on yet another first-round draft pick, if you make another just dumbass trade, if you make some stupid free agency signing, if you extend Andrus Peat again, if you do something dumb, then you're going to just ruin what this team is trying to build with the young players. You're going to set your team back even further than you already are. So a lot of changes need to be made, quite honestly, but my 4 biggest main changes. Fire Dennis Allen and hire a competent head coach. Hire somebody who is young, who's hungry, or experienced. Don't bring in Dennis Allen. Don't go and get a copy and paste version of him. For the love of God, Bill Belichick, Brandon Staley, any of these guys are available. Frank Reich, if somehow some of these guys are available, stay away. Stay the F away from them. Get me somebody who can actually coach a head football or a football team as a head coach. You also got to fire Pete Carmichael. I want a young offensive coordinator. Go get me the Lions offensive coordinator. He is so smart. He is such a good offensive coordinator. He knows how to communicate with the players. He knows how to get the guys to buy in. You also have to go draft a young quarterback. We're going to also talk about quarterback targets here very soon in terms of the draft. Honestly, we'll probably do it later this week, so subscribe and turn on your notice for that. Go get a guy like Jaden Daniels, a Michael Penix, a Bo Nix. Go get somebody young. Draft a young quarterback that's a first-round talent. Jake Haener, sure, he should get a shot. But if you have the ability to go get a guy like a Jaden Daniels or a Michael Penix, you're really not going to take that. Get the F out of here if you think otherwise. And I have an asterisk next to this one for promote Kai Harley because I think if Mickey Loomis won't do these three things, if these three things will not happen, then you do this. Otherwise, if these three things are if they happen and changes are made, Mickey proves to have some stones, cool. But I also think that Kai Harley needs to be promoted soon. He needs to be, if you want him to have him, if you want to have his financial genius in the building, you got to have him around for the long term. So you might want to promote him soon either way. But what say you, Saints fans? I want you to put on the hat. Be the GM. What's the first change that you would make with this football team? Would it be firing the head coach? Would it be going and signing a quarterback? Would it be drafting a guy in the offseason? What would be your first change you make? So I also want to talk about this because there is the crowd out here, and honestly, I'm a little bit guilty of it. I've said it before. I don't think that Dennis Allen's a great head coach. I think he's a terrible head coach. Quite honestly, he should never have another job as a head coach in this league ever again. But I have said this. But his defense is great. No, it hasn't. It hasn't been great. It's been inconsistent. It's shown flashes of being great. It's shown that they can be great. It's not great, though. And I know last week I was saying they were elite. But look what happens when they play against a team that is an absolute shit. They get beat. Dennis Allen's defense has been torched by Josh Dobbs, Tyson Bagent, Jordan Love, and Baker frickin' Mayfield. The only good quarterback you've lost to this year is Trevor Lawrence. The defense isn't great. I'm sorry. They haven't been good. An honest to God question. I need you to let me know. Are you satisfied with mediocrity? Because there's been people in the live chats. There's been people on my comment section saying, Trace, you're just getting mad. You're overreacting. You don't know what you're talking about. Well, my question to you is, are you really that satisfied with mediocrity? Are you okay with that? Is that something you're just like, man, you know what? 5-5, I'm chilling. Your quarterback, your starting quarterback, that's your freaking head coach that Mickey Loomis wanted to play buddy-buddy for, has thrown 10 touchdowns in 10 freaking games. Unacceptable. You're paying this guy $100 million plus. No. Dennis Allen versus winning teams absolutely stinks. He's 12-15 as an overall coach with the New Orleans Saints against all teams. He is 12-15. And he's played some really bad football teams. And he has lost to a lot of them. And in terms of his quarterback, shout out to Christopher Voglu. He pointed this one out. He said it's almost a sci-fi movie. It's 2049, Blade Runner 2049. Dude, he's 20-43 if you include his time with the Raiders. He stinks. And this is my favorite one of all. Among all head coaches in the history of the NFL that have coached 60 games or more, Dennis Allen is 169th out of 174. You know what that means? There has been 5 head coaches that were worse than Dennis Allen. 5. You have a bottom 6 head coach all time, and you don't have the stones to move on from him. Unfrickin' believable. Get him out of here. He needs to go. This is an experiment. It was something that they wanted to try out. They wanted to do this whole continuity thing. They wanted to try and keep the Drew Brees and Sean Payton era alive. It hasn't frickin' worked. Move on and build your own culture. My biggest fear with this team, man, I am going to lose my mind because, quite honestly, I just don't believe that this team can make any noise in the playoffs. You could look on the channel. Literally a couple of days ago, I made a video about David Carr saying that the Saints could win the Super Bowl, or that he's picking them to win the Super Bowl. I gave my reaction. I said, if they make the playoffs, who knows what could happen? I'm going to go ahead and take that take back. If they make the playoffs, they're going to get absolutely blown out. They are going to get demolished and embarrassed. And if that's okay with you, I don't know what to say, because I don't want this team to make the playoffs. That be good enough for Mickey Loomis to say, let's keep Dennis Allen. He got you to the postseason. Yeah, on a losing record in the shittiest division in the NFL's history. No, we're done. If you make the postseason and you get the 23rd overall pick, I'm just going to be so upset, to be quite honest. And it's not. I'm not saying I'm rooting for this team to lose, but what I am saying is I'm scared and I don't believe in this team. I just don't believe that they have what it takes to win meaningful football games. They don't. And that's okay, because there's always next year, and then the next year, and then the next year. But right now, what you have is not okay. You got to move on. You have to stop this nonsense, and you have to quit the charade. So, guys, I need you to sound off before we hop on out of here. I hope you enjoyed our TED Talk. I hope you enjoyed our rant. Describe Dennis Allen in 3 words or less. Get mean, get funny. I don't give a damn. My 3, clown, loser, and fraud. So, Saints fans, thank you so much for hanging out with us. Don't forget to subscribe. Y'all stay golden. We'll see you next time.